Thank you, David. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. It's Kev. It's breakfast. And we are playing you the greatest songs of all time and chatting about loads of great Peterborough events. Coming up in a minute...
The Kev Lawrence Breakfast Show. PCRFM.
We're going to chat to a local musician who... His name's Geoff, and he's in a band called the Hijacked Hollies. Him and another band called the Bootleg Shadows are coming to the Cresset for a big charity night in October. And we'll tell you all about it and feature some of the tunes that they'll be performing on PCR next. First up, Niall Horan and Anne-Marie, last year's Children in Need song. This is Everywhere on PCR. Breakfast on for Tuesday. Morning. Just to confirm, the Peterborough Bridge Fair opens on Embankment this Thursday. It's going to be awesome, and we've got a whole heap of free ride tokens up for grabs to be won from Thursday's breakfast show onwards. FYI. There's Niall Horan and Anne-Marie Everywhere. 8:07. Good morning, it's PCR FM playing you the greatest songs of all time. Good morning, Geoff.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you. Now, Geoff, let me tell everybody listening, Geoff plays in a band called the Bootleg Shadows, and you're teaming up with your mate's band, the Hijacked Hollies, and you're coming to the Cresset Theatre in Peterborough for a massive show on October the 9th. And it's in aid of charity, isn't it? Tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay. Basically, the Bootleg Shadows and Hijacked Hollies have done some work for the air ambulance. So it's the East Anglian Air Ambulance charity, and we've done it for a few years now, and this is the actual first show we've got together on. So you see two bands for the price of one.
Two for the price of one. Can't say fairer than that. Tickets via thecresset.co.uk. The music of the Shadows and the music of the Hollies. So we're going back here. We're going back, but what is it about the Shadows? And of course, they were Cliff Richard's band. What is it about their music that you love so much? And why the Shadows?
Well, we do go back, way back. I started to learn the guitar, I suppose, when I was about 12 years old, which is quite a few years ago. I was still in short trousers, but there you go. So we, it's great to have a band to try and play the guitar along to, and my cousins got me a couple of records of the Shadows, and I started to play them on the record player as it was then, and that was it. I was converted to the guitar at a very young age.
And the rest, as they say, is history. Let's play a little bit of Apache, because this is a famous bit of Shadows music, isn't it? Do you perform this at the show?
Well, you can't not.
Yeah.
It's a big hit, isn't it? And I think anyone that is out there will probably recognise that one. It was number one in 1960, I think.
Is it easy to play?
Well, it's just single notes, and it is quite easy to play, but you've got to get them in the right order.
Yeah, just got to get them in the right order. I love that. I mean, I have not heard this little clip of music for years, but it takes me back. I think my mum and dad used to love the Shadows way back.
Well, that's it. I think it's quite an easy listening record, and they produced more and more and more throughout the 60s. I think the hits probably dried up from about 1965 or something. But then they'd had their day, sort of thing. But they did come back, and they did a few concerts, even as late as 2009, with good old Cliff.
With good old Cliff,
they were still there for quite a few decades.
Well, let's talk about Cliff and play a couple of clips of Cliff with the Shadows. They had so many hits, including this one. Is this one you perform?
Yep. We do that one. The Young Ones.
The Young Ones. Let's have a little listen. Just a few moments of Cliff Richard and the Shadows and their song The Young Ones from 1962.
The young ones, darling, we're the young ones, and the young ones shouldn't be afraid.
So when you play live these old songs, Geoff, what's the reaction from the audience?
They love it. They really do. It's more of a mature audience these days, but we'd love to see some young ones in the audience to keep it going.
Pardon the pun.
Hey.
I have been looking back at the Cliff Richard Shadows song list, and it's difficult to kind of pick which ones I really wanted to play. So, I mean, Summer Holiday, do you perform Summer Holiday or not? Is that not quite on the set list?
It is on the set list, yeah. Summer Holiday, maybe not for this particular one that we're doing. It's really probably about just over the hour each that we can slot in. But all the songs that both bands play will be kind of top 10 hits, and everyone will remember them.
Surely you'll perform this.
Got myself a crying, talking,
sleeping, walking, living. I mean, Cliff and the Shadows and Living Doll, for me, that's the absolute anthem. And I think this was even before the 60s. I think this was originally out in 1959.
I think it was 59, and I think it was his first #1 hit.
Goodness
or did
me.
it get to #2?
All those years ago. All those years ago.
and only walking, talking, living doll.
Now, we've talked about the Shadows and Cliff. What can you tell us about the band that plays the hits of the Hollies?
Oh, well, there's not many tribute bands that can actually tribute the Hollies because of all the vocals involved. They're quite intricate, and if you remember Alan Clark's lead voice in the Hollies, it was quite an acute voice. It was very recognisable. So they've got a guy by the name of Les Morgan on lead vocals, and he is terrific. He really does sound like Alan Clark, as was in the Hollies, and they do a fabulous job. Again, all the top 10 hits you're going to hear on Sunday week.
Okay, so let's just wrap this up then. And thank you so much, Geoff, for coming on and sharing all of these wonderful memories with us. October the 9th, you can see the Hijacked Hollies and the Bootleg Shadows, an hour each, on stage at the Cresset Theatre, and it's raising money for the East Anglian Air Ambulance charity. Tickets via the Cresset website, which is cresset.co.uk. Which Hollies song should we play?
Do you know what? I think there's only got to be one, hasn't there?
The Air That I Breathe?
I think that might be the one.
No, we're going to go for He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, I think.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could play either, but something about this song.
Beautiful song.
It's so good. Geoff, to you and your bandmates, thank you so much, and have a great gig on October the 9th.
We will. Thanks very much.
The road is long with a many a winding tongue that leads us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong enough to carry him. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. While we're on the way to there, why not share?
Beautiful song. He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, the Hollies, playing on PCR. Lovely to chat to Geoff before that about this concert for charity happening at the Cresset Theatre on October the 9th. If you love the music of the Hollies or the Shadows, get your tickets booked via the cresset.co.uk website.